In this video, we're going to demonstrate flying X-Plane 11's free download demo version without the aid of a yoke, a joystick, or pedals. We're just going to use the keyboard, mouse, and primarily the autopilot down here. The B key releases the brakes, F2 increases power, and 1 and 2 control the flaps. That's probably enough for us to get going. If I click the mouse in the center of the screen, the mouse suddenly becomes the thing that controls the flight control devices. So I'm going to release the brakes, add power, and as I do so, I'm going to keep the mouse pointed to the right a little bit to compensate for the engine's torque that will normally pull the plane to the left. When we get to about 60 knots, I'm going to raise the nose, and if we can get some steady flight, I'll engage the autopilot. One of the main things I forgot to do is to set the heading bug in the direction of the airport runway. So I'm going to click heading, I'm going to click vertical speed, reduce it from 15. We don't need to be flying that high of a rate of climb. Let's say 700 feet per minute for starters. Having the heading bug, which is controlled with this knob, pointing straight ahead, kept us from flying off to the left or right when we left the airport. As soon as I engage the heading button, HED, on the autopilot starts steering the plane wherever this is pointed. So here we are at about 1,000 feet. I'm going to make a left turn to the west by twirling the heading bug over there, and as soon as the orange thing gets to top center, that will level our wings and we'll fly in that direction. The M key on the keyboard on X-Plane 11 brings up their wonderful map. I'm going to zoom in. Light blue plane is us. My goal today is to circle around and land at the airport. 1,500 feet is probably as high as I want to be for this, so I'm going to click the Alt or altitude button, and that'll reduce the climb. Actually, it'll stop the climb and bring the nose down. And since we're climbing in speed quite a bit, I'm going to reduce the power with F2. I'm sorry, F1. That should do it. And so let's look at the map again. That looks like we're heading west, which I expect. And let's go south to come on the downwind of the leg of the circuit we're flying. Speed's holding steady at about 110, 115 knots. That's fine. We're at 1,500 feet of altitude for the purpose of what we're doing. That's great. In the description below, I have a link to a 27-minute long video I made where I described some more details of the autopilot, the navigation system. We created a flight plan, executed it, including an approach, and landed all hands-free the whole flight, except for the first 200 feet and the last 200 feet were hands-free, just done by the GPS navigation and the autopilot. Nice feature of X-Plane 11 is you can increase the speed getting from place to place. I'm going to hold down Alt and press T 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to zoom down range a little bit. I'm going to press Alt T 1 more time to come back to normal speed. Press M for the map. Oh, that's plenty. So let's do another 90-degree left turn here. And when I disengage the autopilot with this red button here and take control again with the mouse in the center of the screen, all heck could break loose because it's really hard for me to fly the plane with the mouse. It's easy for me to fly the plane with the autopilot, and that's what I'm trying to demonstrate to you today. Check our position here. Let's see if we can head back towards the airport by another left turn. The detail in X-Plane 11 is astonishing. The heads of the screws, the controls, the shadows. It's just the most beautiful flight simulator. So that's towards the airport. That's probably far enough. Come back a little bit. I'm going to reduce the power, add some flaps. Try to line up with the runway a little bit more and begin a descent. Let's see what 300 feet a minute feels like. Most airports have these 4 lights to help you with your glide slope. If they're all white, you're too high. If they're all red, you're too low. 2 is real good, so we'll see if we can keep that. So far, 99% of this flight has been brought to you by X-Plane 11's autopilot. One more notch of flaps to slow us down. Okay, kids, here goes releasing the autopilot. Sorry about the zooming. Click this button here, click in the center here. I don't normally fly the plane anywhere near this smoothly. I should panic when I get closer to the runway, and we'll see what happens then. The speed looks okay. Wind up not too bad for me. I'll take it. So I accidentally clicked off the mouse control there, so that's not good. One giant bounce for mankind. Brakes. Hey, I think we're safely on the ground. Shift 8 will give us a view of the outside. All right, I am going to call that good.